Hello students, very good afternoon to all of you. तो आज हम लोग जो हमारा जो पेपर 1 सॉरी एमएच सेट का जो इंग्लिश का डिस्कशन चल रहा है उसे हम कंटिन्यू करने वाले हैं. वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच वर आस्क्ड इन योर एग्जाम. ओके, सो ऑल द क्वेश्चंस व्हिच आर रिलेटेड टू एमएच सेट you will be able to see here. As you all know that UGC NET syllabus and MH set syllabus is same. The syllabus is same, just the difference that you will find here is the questions or how the questions are asked and the way the questions are asked as well as the level of the questions. Okay, so that's the only difference that you will get to know here. So if you have seen my previous lectures, my previous videos, there you will be able to see that we discussed few of the questions or the whole question paper related to UGC NET. Okay, so there I showed you the level of UGC NET, and in this paper we are going to see the MH set level. Okay, so you will be able to get the difference. What is the difference? How the questions are different from each other. Otherwise the syllabus is same. The study part, what you have to do for UGC NET, the same you have to do for MH set. So there is no difference as such in the syllabus. Just the difference you will find is in the whatever you are going to, the type of questions that you will face or come across. Okay, so all those questions we are studying right now, so pay attention to each and every question, and this is definitely going to help you out. The questions that you are practicing right now are so beneficial for you all at the time of your exams, because with the help of these questions you will be able to get. So now we are solving 100 questions. Yes, so while we are solving the 100 questions, you will understand that now you will be able to give the answers for these 100 questions, as well as you will also understand so many more things about the whole question. Yes, so for example, if something is asked, let's say let's discuss it with the help of the question 1. Question 21. So the work of specters of Marx is written by. So at least you have understood that the question is related to the work of specters of Marx, right? So now the specters of Marx is written by, first of all, Jacques Derrida. And then with the help of Jacques Derrida, you will also understand. Now you have understood that yes, Jacques Derrida has written this particular book, right? This particular work. Got it? So now one more work is added in this list of Jacques Derrida. Understood? Now when you will actually understand the work specters of Marx, that time you will also get to know so many other things. The background of the work, why Jacques Derrida wrote this, what was the intention behind writing it, and everything related to the text, right? So then it is, so with the help of these questions, now you will be able to understand that which type of questions are asked, which are the different topics from which most of the relevant questions are being asked. Yes, and what are the answers of those questions. Correct? So now if you will see the question paper, the questions are asked in a jumbled manner. Okay, they will not be given directly, or there might be some questions which are repeated, but you might even not know that these questions are repeated. How you will not know? Because the questions are framed in a different manner. Now there is a possibility that they might also give you that which is the famous work Jacques Derrida wrote on the Marx. Yes, so the answer would be the work Spectres of Marx. Understood? Yes, so this is how the questions are asked. So whenever you are solving these questions, you are practicing these questions. Yes, so always try to analyze the question properly, and also look for the other aspects of the question, so that if any of the question comes in your exam, it will be easier for you to give the answer for every question. Understood? Okay, So this is something you should know whenever you are studying or whenever you are practicing the questions. And with this lecture series, with this PYQ series, you will be able to solve hundreds of questions. Yes, because here in this lecture we are solving 100 questions. Yes. So after completing these questions, at least there will be so many more questions that you will be able to solve, right? So that is why this question series is very useful, very informative. Don't miss a single class. Also tell all your friends to share this link with your friends so that they also won't miss their studies, and they will be able to give the they will be able to study for English, either UGC NET or MH SET. So it is helpful for all of them. So subscribe to my channel, subscribe to our channel, press the bell icon so that you will get the notification from time to time. Then also we are also running different series for paper 1. You can also visit to our channel IFAS aptitude, where you will get to learn about paper 1. As you all know, paper 1 is also compulsory paper. So through that paper you will be able to prepare for paper 1, and with this lecture series you will be able to prepare for paper 2. Okay, so both of your studies we are helping you out to solve them. You just have to like the lecture, then you have to subscribe to our channel and share it with your friends. This is such an easy task, right? So yes, do it quickly so that maximum students join in with us, and everyone will be able to give do their studies properly as you all are doing. Okay, yes. So yeah, hello Rishi, very good afternoon to you. Good afternoon Prateek. I hope you were there for the last class as well, and you have understood the questions that we discussed in our previous class. And in this class we will be discussing some more questions. For example, this one, as we discussed right now, another question that we are going to discuss is question 22, which says, who is the author of the Great Tradition? So this is a concept, or this is the theory. This famous author has given us some different idea of tradition. Okay, so he has tried to give us a different idea of tradition. What is this idea? What this idea talks about is everything given in the Great Tradition. Okay, and who is the author of this Great Tradition? Who is the author of this Great Tradition? It's the F.R. Lewis. Okay, so F.R. Lewis has written this work, The Great Tradition. This is an essay written by F.R. Lewis. So if you have not read it, go and read it today itself. Okay, and I can assure you that yes, this will help you out in your future studies as well. Okay, now we also have one more question, which says the literal meaning of hamartia is. So when we were discussing about the works of William Shakespeare, I had already explained you that what is hamartia, how hamartia works in all. Yes, so what is the work of hamartia? What is the literal meaning of hamartia? Misdirection, no. Missing the mark, misconception, or mistaken identity. What is the meaning of hamartia? It's the missing the mark. Missing the mark means, what is the missing the mark? So basically, when a play is there and when that play is missing with something, means there is something left in that play. Okay, that is called as missing the mark, or that is also called as hamartia. Okay, so for example, you might have seen in the let's say Hamlet. So when you saw in the Hamlet that Hamlet wanted to take the revenge from his uncle. Yes, so when he wanted to take the revenge from his uncle Claudius, then what he did actually, so he did not think properly. He was not able to make proper decisions at the proper time. Yes, right decisions at right time. That is why he missed the chance of killing the Claudius at the right time. Yes, and he couldn't take the revenge. Later on, but what was the end? That everyone end up killing each other. Yes, so that was the hamartia here. That something, so this missing, so something was missing in the play. Yes, we saw so many aspects that the love was missing. Yes, the Hamlet's thinking was missing, that he was not able to think properly. His planning was not very proper. Then there were so many also characters. Yes, so for example, Hamlet's mother, who betrayed his father, Hamlet's father. Yes, she betrayed Hamlet's father. That was something which was quite what you can call it. It was very much disastrous. It was very much disturbing. Yeah. So that was something which missing the mark, or that was the hamartia of the play, right? So this is what is the literal meaning of hamartia? It is the missing the mark. Okay, so that is why the play couldn't be up to mark. Okay. Now the next question. The journal of Richard Steele that just succeeded the Tatler was. Which was the journal of Richard Steele that just succeeded the Tatler was? Which was this? Who can give me the answer? Okay, we have one answer from Shweta. Shweta is saying B. Okay, Shweta, very good. Let's wait for others to try, then we will discuss the answer. Before, tell me what is the meaning of Tatler? So is a person Tatler? Who is a Tatler? Why nobody else is trying? The Tatler, female Tatler. Who is the Tatler first of all? A person who gossips. Who is a Tatler? Yes, so Tatler is a person who gossips. So the journal of Richard Steele that just succeeded the Tatler was a gossip book, or that was a gossip journal. Which one was that? The Spectator. The name of the journal is the Spectator. Okay, so what is there, what the gossips are there in the journal, that you have to find it out on your own. Okay, let's pay attention to the next question. Matthew Arnold's model of culture was based on. Here we are talking about Matthew Arnold's model of culture. So this is a famous essay written by Matthew Arnold, in which he talks about the culture. In this famous essay of Matthew Arnold, he talks about the model of culture. So it is based on what? It is basically based on eternal purification. Second, integrity. And the third one is abstinence. Okay, so these are the three components on which this model of culture is based on. Internal purification, whatever is inside you, that should be pure. Integrity and abstinence. These are the three key things that you should know about the model of culture by Matthew Arnold. Okay. Let's move ahead and look at the next question. So in one of his novels, Thomas Hardy says, happiness is but an occasional episode in the journal drama of pain. These are the lines in one of Thomas Hardy's novels. Now you have to find out in which novel do these lines occur. So if you are the student of university of Pune University, then you might have came across with this, the mayor of Casterbridge. So you might have studied, or even if you are not in studying in Pune University, then also you might know that for your masters maybe, or for your bachelors maybe, you might have studied this, the mayor of Casterbridge. In the Mayor of Casterbridge, this is a very famous line written by Thomas Hardy, which says, happiness is not an occasional episode in the general drama of pain. Okay, so this is very important. So those who have read this novel, The Mayor of Casterbridge, you might know this. If those who have not read it, please do read it, because look at here, questions are being asked from the novel, the lines from the novel. So yes, when you are reading any particular novel, also remember that while reading the novel, what all things you have to remember? You have to remember these things, that you have to pay attention to the lines from the novels, who are the characters in the novels, as we saw for the William Shakespeare. Yes. So when we were studying for William Shakespeare's plays, we saw the characters, we saw the background, we saw the important plots, we saw what is a tragic flaw of that play. Yes, so all these aspects, also famous quotes from that play. Yes, so these are the important aspects that you have to study whenever you are studying for any work of art. Okay, it's not just that only for play you have to study, only for novel you have to study. No, also for the poems you can go for the rhythm, you can go for the rhymic what you can say, what is the rhyme scheme of the poem, then how the stanza is, what is the figure of speeches, who is the poet, that is so common that you have to, then who are the characters in that poem. Yes, it happens, right? There are multiple characters in the poem as well. So that is so those all things, those all aspects you have to study whenever you are studying any particular work of art. So here also in the Mayor of Casterbridge, these are the famous lines written by Thomas Hardy, which you need to remember. See here. So again we have a few lines with us. To thee I call, thou goodness, thou goddess of tournament. Thou cruel wit, that sorrowest even in pain. Help me, that am the sorry instrument, that helpeth lovers, as I can to plain. The above lines are written by. Who is the writer of these lines, and which is this lines taken from? Where are these lines taken from? I'll give you 2 minutes to give me the answer for this. Yes. Yes, I am not going to give you the answer. You have to find it out on your own. Yes, why is nobody giving me the answer? No problem, I'll give you the answer. So it is the Geoffrey Chaucer, okay, who has written these famous lines. Let's pay attention to the next question now. The including lines of Spenserian stanza is called? Alexandrian line, climatic line, caesura, or terza rima. The concluding lines of Spenserian stanza. So now there is Spenserian stanza. Now you should know what a Spenserian stanza is. Yes? So basically, Spenserian stanza talks about the 8 iambic pentameter. Okay. So it is 8 iambic pentameter. Spenserian stanza is used by Spenser. Okay. So you have to remember Spenser started writing this kind of poems. It was used in the poems. So in the Spenserian stanza, in the Spenserian poems, it is said that the concluding lines are called as the Alexandrian line. Okay. Remember this. Now let's look at the next question. Identify the figure of speech in the following lines. What is the spectre and crown must tumble down, and in the dust be equal, made with the poor crooked scythe and spade. Which figure of speech is used here? Okay, so what is the answer for this question? It is the metonymy. So what's the meaning of metonymy? Metonymy is the attribute that we give for something else. Okay, so that is called as metonymy. So if you will see, the spectre and crown must tumble down, and in the dust be equal made with the poor crooked scythe and spade. Okay, so here in this, that something else they are trying to compare it, some other attributes they are trying to compare it with these lines. Okay, so that is the metonymy. Let's pay attention to the next question. The prose work The Marriage of Heaven and Hell is written by which of the following? Now the work's name is The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. We have spoken this, we have seen this when we were studying for the literature, British literature. When we were studying British literature, that time we spoke about The Marriage of Heaven and Hell. Who is the author of The Marriage of Heaven and Hell? William Blake. William Blake is the author of this particular prose work. Okay. Pay attention to the next question. What is our next question? Who was the most outstanding leader of the group who believed that Eliot's poetry was over-intellectual and that Audens was unduly sociological? Which group said this? So I know you might not know about this because this is just an historical background. Okay, so it's okay even if you don't know as of now, but now you have understood. Now you have to just mark it, make notes out of it and keep it in your notebook. Okay, so while you are revising, you will be able to get this. Okay, you will be able to get this, and with this you can easily now if the question comes related to this, so it's the Eliot's poetry was over intellectual and that Audens was unduly sociological, was the concept, or there was a group who believed in it, and who was the person from that group? It was Dylan Thomas. Okay, I know the name, you might have heard it for the first time, but it's okay. As of now, just remember it like that. Okay, now let's pay attention to the next question. The literary phenomenon called the angry young men occurred in the angry young man. This was the literary term, literary phenomenon, which was started from which century? It was started in the 15th century. It was started in 50s. Okay, so it started in 50s, and even till now you can see we say angry young man, okay, or angry young men. So now let's look at the next question. Who are ape-like beasts in human form in Gulliver's Travels, which was written in 1726? Who are these ape-like beasts? Who are these ape-like beasts? They were called as Lilliputians. No, Lilliputians were the ones, those who were very small in size. Okay, then Brobdingnagians, no. Then Houyhnhnms, no. Yahoos, they were called as Yahoos in the Gulliver's Travel. So you might have also seen the movie on Gulliver's Travel. There is one more movie in Indian cinemas, that is Jajantaram Mamantaram, that is based on this novel, the Gulliver's Travel. Okay, so if you have not watched that movie, go watch it, so that you will understand the concept of Gulliver's Travels. Okay, so but to know these words, to know the characters, to know the idea, and to know these literary phenomenons, these ape-like beasts, who are these ape-like beasts, who were the other people, who were the Lilliputians, so to know all these words, you have to read this Gulliver's Travel itself. Okay, there is no other option. But to know the idea, you can watch the movie also. Now yes, coming to the next question. Who termed metaphysical poetry as the affectation of big words, Fusian phrases, jingling terms, strong lines? ये सब किसने कहा था? Who said all these things about metaphysical poets or metaphysical poetry? Who said this? Buchon. Buchon was the person who said that metaphysical poetry as affectation of big words, it is the Fustian phrases, then jingling terms, and these are strong lines. Okay, so this was said by Buchon. Let's look at the next question. The relationship between signifier and signified is. Now you all know what a signifier is and what a signified is. Yes, so if I draw a picture like this, okay, so this is a picture I have drawn, and I say this as cat. Now here there is a signifier and there is signified. Okay, so now these both are, one is signifier, one is signified. Got it? Now what is the relation between why have you ever thought that why this kind of creature is called as cat? No, right? There is no reason behind it. Or why cat is said to this particular creature? No, we don't know the reason behind it. That is why we say it as arbitrary. Okay, so how is the relation between the signifier and the signified? It is arbitrary, means there is no one such reason behind why it is said like this. Okay, so always remember this. Next question. Who is the author of the theater of the absurd? So who is the author of the theater of absurd? Theater of absurd के कौन author है? It's the Martin Esslin. Okay, Martin Esslin is the author of the theater of absurd. Memoir Club of 1920 was originally centered on two daughters of. The Memoir Club of 1920 was originally centered on two daughters of whose two daughters? Two daughters of Leslie Stephen. Okay, so for that, to know about the two daughters of Leslie Stephen, you should know the Memoir Club. Okay, so what was this Memoir Club of 1920, and what was the reason, what was the aim behind this club, Memoir Club? That everything, that is a very vast history actually. So, and we don't have that much time with us to I'm sorry, we don't have that much time that we can actually talk about the history of it. That is why I'm telling it to you. If you want a special lecture on these such topics, you can definitely comment it to me below this video, so that I can come up with such videos for you all. Okay, let's look at the next question now. So Shropshire Tales are authored by. Now, what are Shropshire Tales? What are Shropshire Tales? What is Shropshire Tales? Yes, I'm waiting for your answer, students. Shropshire folk tales. It in places Shropshire has traditional patchwork fields. Okay, so it's basically short tales. Tales you already know, right? What are tales? Tales are the stories. So these are Shropshire Tales. And who is the author of this? It's Mary Webb. Do read about Shropshire Tales. Next question. The title of T.F. Purvey's Mr. Weston's Good Wine, a novelistic allegory, was taken from. It was taken from. It was a famous work written by Emma. Okay, so it was written in the famous work is said to be as Emma. And who is the author of Emma? Who can tell me who is the author of Emma? Who is the author of Emma? And the same person is the author of Jane Eyre too. Don't know? Who is the author of Emma? It's the Jane Austen. Sorry. Okay, so Jane Austen has written Emma, and it was the title of T.F. Powers, the Mr. Weston's Good Wine is the novelistic allegory was taken. It was taken from this Emma book. Okay, remember this. And now the last question of the day. The Open Boat is a story written by. ओपन बोट, ये स्टोरी किसने लिखी है? Who is the writer of the Open Boat story? It's the Stephen Crane. Can you see, can you make out this different, students, that most of the questions are asked from the works. Either they are asking the author of that work, or they are giving us the author and they are asking the famous work by that author. Yes, so it is either vice versa. So you have to, so the basic thing that you have to remember whenever you are studying for English literature, that understand each and every writer. okay, of all the genres, of all the ages, and also understand the famous works written by them, because that is what matters, that is what a whole literature is based upon, okay, by the work written by the authors, and the whatever the work is written, who is the author of that work, okay. So this is the only thing that you have to remember whenever you are studying for English literature, whether you are studying it for a SET exam or whether you are studying it for the UGC NET exam, okay. So just remember this, and I hope when we will study the further questions, when we will look at the further questions, it will be easier for you to identify the I'm hoping that in the next lecture you will be the ones who will be giving me the answers. So मुझसे पहले मैं आपसे answers expect करती हूँ, okay. So please be prepared, okay. If you haven't gone through the English literature yet, go through them, start reading it, okay. Don't just sit there and wait for the application forms. Start preparing for yourself, because we have very less time left with us, and literature is so vast that these few months, so how much ever months you take for the studies, it won't be sufficient, okay. So keep on studying, keep on revising, okay. Even I am there to help you out. So just revise whatever we have studied today and come up with a brand new study, okay, and knowledge in tomorrow's session. So I will just end the session for right now, and we will meet in the next session with few more questions, okay. Until the time we meet next, happy learning, and have a great day ahead. Thank you so much for your patient listening.